Number 7. I believe the Bible teaches separation during menstruation, as it is unclean.
Hey, look at me. I'm a Christian. I'm reading the Bible.
The logistics of how that would be incorporated are still being worked out.
Who? Who, I ask you? Who is working on this problem today? Who is trying to figure out the logistics of how to separate women who are on their period from the rest of society? That is, I want to know the name of this person or group or whatever.
But of course, with a merciful God, it would be a merciful location. You most certainly don't lock them up in a small cage.
This is Amelia Earhart. I'm almost across the Pacific. Oh no, my period!
It's a small apartment, and probably in the bigger tribes, it's a communal thing.
I'll now take questions. Oh no, my period. Let's milk England!
Where women hang out. And hopefully the leader women, there'll be women that are on cycle with them, and they can do their little talks that aren't gossip and get some things worked out or something. I don't know.
We should be elevating the way women are perceived in society.
Oh, my period. You're all fired.
It's hard for me to respond constructively to these arguments when they come with such little merit that they basically don't exist. My best perception of his argument is menstruating women are crazy and unclean, and if we clump them together, they won't gossip, therefore better reality, God's happier. What the fuck is that even saying, you know? I'd love to come at this with a nice, concise, this is what's wrong with the argument, this is the better way to approach it. I'd love to do that, but sometimes you just gotta sit back and say, wow, what did I just listen to? God, the internet is weird.
Number 6. I believe I can make a very good argument that women should wear a head cover, at least when they pray. Minimum when they pray. I think I can make that biblical argument.
Again, what do you want? What do you want as a rebuttal, right? You want veils on women when they pray because God hates female hair? I mean, it's so fucking dumb. I don't know how to respond to it, you know? Fuck.
Mary, you're supposed to wear a cap when working near a drill press.
Why pick on me? The other girls aren't wearing their caps.
Look, the rule book says wear a safety cap.
Number 5. There are 4 necessary things taught. Twice in the book of Acts and once in Acts 21 that are as clear as day, that say, flee fornication, don't touch, don't ingest blood, don't eat meat that's been strangled, and do not eat things that knowingly has been offered to idols.
Again, this is supposed to be a list of things that whatever church he was going to, he disagreed with them on, which is why he's no longer a part of that church. Apparently, he went to a church where they regularly drank blood. And here, I don't think he's referring to communion grape juice.
Whoa, is that really the blood of Christ? Yes. Man, that guy must have been wasted 24 hours a day, huh?
Right? I think he's trying to say, don't drink actual blood. Or he's eating at a church where they knowingly offered this food up to an idol. What the fuck church are you going to that does that? Or church that promotes fornication? What the hell? Please, give me that address. This church sounds bad ass. Now, as to this strangling animals thing that he has a problem with, this appears to be a reference to Jewish ceremonial practices, and in conjunction with the Bible's hatred of eating anything related to blood. So, 1, it's outdated, and 2, again, it seems to be more so relevant for bleeding an animal. I don't know why it's relevant nowadays, but again, I wouldn't exactly go to this guy as my biblical expert, right?
Whether you're the weaker brother or he's the weaker brother, you're not equal. There's somebody less or higher, and somebody's going to get offended. Just don't do it. It's not good for you.
What the fuck are you talking about?
3 times in scriptures, there are 4 necessary things. They call them, we've decided that your arguments about circumcision are stupid.
Circumcision? What the fuck is he talking about? I thought we were talking about strangling animals and fornicating. Why are we switching over to circumcision now?
We don't want to argue about days of the week to worship, what types of food you eat, but here's 4 necessary things if you want it to be well with you.
Again, I gotta ask, where was the church that he was going to that didn't allow him to fornicate? What church was that? Please tell me. I'm interested. For scientific purposes, of course.
Number 4, the much controversial, because everybody thinks the rapture is coming right now, not knowing that it's over. And this is Gog and Magog. No.
Wow. I don't know what to do here. He actually said something that could be controversial in some churches. Yes. Let's hear it. Let's do this.
There's 25, 26 years left. And that's what happens when you work, because there are no chronologies that you can trust. You have to work backwards from the date that will get you banned and then move forward.
Flat Earth Nation here speaks with such gravitas that it kind of seems like maybe what he's saying is important. But pay close attention, because he's just talking a bunch of gibberish. He sounds like he knows what he's talking about, but is he saying anything?
Because we're dealing with Daniel chapter 12, the last of the chapter. And there will be 1,290 days from the abomination of desolation until the end. Blessed are those who make the 1335. That's another 45 years from that date in September that blessed are those who make it.
I'm going to stop his explanation because it's horrible, and let you know that it seems like he believes in Preterism, a Christian view that essentially a lot of the end times prophecies that happen in the Bible already happened, usually culminating in 1st century AD. It's very much an unorthodox, a rare view of the Bible, but if this is something he holds, I could see this being conflicting with lots of modern day churches. So hey, this is a win. It has nothing to do with flat earth and mud fossils and all that crap, but this is a conversation. Link below in case you want to read up more on it. It's a interesting reading of the Bible, but hey, the Bible is confusing, right?
Number 3, Armageddon is past. That's a big one. It's what the Bible teaches.
I don't know why he's separating these points. They're the same argument. Everything that's supposed to happen at the end times happened in the 1st century AD, quoting Jesus in various ways, whatever. If you really want to know his argument, I link below this original video. I link below the YouTube channel. Feel free to go there and dive in. It's not worth your time, but hey, you do what you want to do. I'm just here to provide these opportunities.
Number 2, the whole added 1,000 year thing. They added 1,000 years. It's time for you to stop pretending that they didn't.
Stop acting so stupid!
And keep going like, this is juicy, juicy stuff. I can't wait to be proven to it that they really did add 1,000 years and all that antique technology and architecture.
Don't act surprised, this guy is a phantom time believer. In short, the Holy Roman Emperor, Otto III, and along with some popes and other people, fabricated 1,000 years of history in order to have them line up with 1000 AD and legitimize some claims of the Holy Roman Empire. A lot of problems with the theory, namely it's very Eurocentric. There were other parts of the world living at that time that we have documentation for. Dendrochronology has an issue with this. Astronomy has an issue with this, right? We've seen eclipses and cycles have been recorded in ancient time that should have happened, that 1,000-year gap. Kind of hard to refute that stuff, right? And as I said before, it's very Eurocentric. What about the life of Muhammad? That didn't exist. What about the Byzantine Empire? What about Charlemagne? What about Tang Dynasty of China, right? What about all the other parts of the world that don't have to do with the Holy Roman Empire? That's all somehow simultaneously faked as well, right? It's a dumb theory, but this guy is, stacks dumb theories like pancakes for his breakfast, so who's surprised? Not me.
Number 1, all rocks are Nephilim / giant body parts.
Oh, yes! 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 Oh! Yes! 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 Yes!
Caused by electric and water mixing in a way to preserve and reserve all stones in the form of sleep. They're reserved in judgment till the day of judgment, so that we might someday be judged by the only thing that we can carry into heaven, the treasure in our heart.
Let's break this down. Giants, Nephilim, people apparently, undergo some sort of metamorphism with water and electricity to replace the fleshy soft bits with hard rock bits. And what we're walking on now, when you go outside, what you walk on is actually the post-water electricity rock of giants. And this was done so that God can quite literally judge them based on the mineral content that resulted from this change. Okay, continue.
Gold, silver, or precious stones that were taught in Corinthians by Paul, Galatians, that we build up in us by doing good works, for which we were created in Christ Jesus.
So God is quite literally judging us by the amount of gold we have post water electricity mixture. What? Rocks don't have gold in them. That's very, very rare. Are those just the lucky few that God's gonna shine down his grace upon? What about everyone that died, that are in coffins right now, that don't have gold in their hearts? Literal atoms of gold in their hearts. Do they not get into heaven? Because do we need to exhume dead bodies, dunk them in water, and send electricity through them, so hopefully grandma can grow enough gold ions in her heart to be let into heaven? Wow.
Nothing in this world goes forward with you. Only the treasure you carry in your heart. And it will all have to pass through a fire, that which will not be burned up. Gold, silver, and precious stones. That is you. That is you.
In case you didn't believe me, Flat Earth Nation restated his argument that actual mineral gold, silver, and precious gems need to be physically in your heart in order for God to accept you, because God's apparently going to burn your corpse and then count how much money left over. I wonder if I put like lead in my heart, will I get through? Because lead doesn't burn. Or does God really care about the shiny stuff? This is an important question I need answered. Flat Earth Nation ends this video preaching a bit more his ridiculous views on the Christian religion, and then recaps all 20 of his points as to why he no longer is allowed in his church. I'm not going to go over it again. It's the religious aspect is not really the focus of this channel, and I don't feel like listening to him restate his stupid ass thoughts on this stuff. So instead, we're going to end the video. Thanks for watching. I know it was a slog. If you got any comments, leave them down below, blah, blah, blah. Usual YouTube stuff, more subs, give me money, yada, yada, yada. Good night.